Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to cut right through all the AI hype. We're breaking down a really practical playbook for how established companies can build an intelligent workforce that actually gets stuff done. This isn't just theory, it's about what you can do, like tomorrow.
Okay, so let's start with the big question. Why is this so hard? I mean, everyone is talking about AI, but for most businesses, putting it to work it's a mess. It's definitely not a simple plug-and-play thing, and the right path forward is usually lost in this fog of buzzwords and, frankly, a lot of conflicting advice. You see, companies are basically hitting a wall of really big challenges. There's strategic uncertainty, like which path do we even take? You've got resource constraints, because let's be real, teams are already stretched thin. And then there's that huge fear of vendor lock-in. You know, the nightmare scenario where you're totally dependent on one super expensive provider. It's a total minefield out there.
So, to cut through all that fog, we're going to follow a really clear roadmap. First up, we'll nail down the real AI challenge. Then, we'll look at that big strategic decision every company is facing. After that, we'll dive into a pretty powerful platform-based solution, see it in action, and even walk through a step-by-step playbook. And finally, we'll see how all of this can build a new, serious strategic advantage for your business.
Okay, Section 1, the real AI challenge. Before we can even think about the right solution, we have to be absolutely crystal clear on the problem we're actually trying to solve here.
Look, the goal isn't just to do AI so you can say you're doing it. The real goal is to solve basic, fundamental business problems. We're talking about things like cranking up productivity by automating all those tedious tasks, lowering your operational costs, and capturing all that priceless knowledge that's stuck in your experts' heads. It's about real, tangible outcomes, not just cool tech.
All right, Section 2, build, buy, or embed. This reality brings every single business leader to a critical crossroads. There are basically three traditional paths you can take. And believe me, each one comes with some pretty serious trade-offs.
And here it is, the classic dilemma. On one hand, you can build it yourself. You get total control, which sounds great, but it requires these rare, super expensive AI experts and just a massive amount of time. The alternative? Buy a third-party tool. It's fast, sure, but you risk getting locked into their world with crazy costs and almost no room to make it your own.
Then, of course, there's path number 3. Just embed some AI features directly into the software you already have. And yeah, this can add some value for your customers, but it often traps your best ideas inside your old clunky architecture. It really limits what you can do down the road.
So what happens when you've got all these imperfect options? Well, a huge number of companies just get completely stuck. They get so afraid of making the wrong multi-million-dollar bet that they end up doing nothing at all. And all the while, they're falling further and further behind. Okay, Section 3, a platform-based solution. But what if there's a fourth way? You know, an approach that could actually avoid the traps of the other three, but combine all their strengths.
And this brings us to this idea of an agentic platform. Now, don't think of this as just another tool. Think of it more like an operating system for your company's AI. It's a central hub that lets you build, deploy, and manage custom AI agents across every single department, all without being locked into one vendor's vision of the future.
Now, this whole platform approach is built on a few core principles. First off, it's got to be secure and able to scale. And because it's company-owned, that fear of vendor lock-in? Gone. But here's the crucial part. It's flexible. It lets you business users build agents without needing to write a line of code, while your tech teams can still go deep and build really custom stuff.
Section 4, AI agents in action. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but theory doesn't pay the bills. So does this stuff actually work? Let's look at the results.
For one company, Ideal Software, putting an AI agent on their platform led to a 70% increase in how fast their internal support teams could solve problems. I mean, come on, that is a massive leap in productivity.
And get this, that same agent is already solving over 20% of all their support tickets completely on its own with zero human intervention. The goal is to get that number up to 40% as the agent keeps learning. This isn't just a small tweak, it's a total game changer for their support model.
When you look at these cases together, you start to see a really clear pattern. CSI Accounting had to build a knowledge base from nothing. Ideal Software needed to scale support without hiring a ton of people. Envisionware was struggling with ancient codes spread across 3 different systems. The key insight here is that none of these are simple problems. They each needed a flexible, powerful platform to build a solution that was just right for them.
So for our 5th section,
We're looking at the AI deployment playbook. The results are there. We see it works. But how does a business actually, get started? Let's walk through the 6-step playbook.
The whole process is really designed to minimize risk and just build momentum. You start small with an internal thing like product support, where you can get some quick, easy wins you can actually measure. You get your data together, connect to your existing systems, and you put a small team on it to train the AI. Then, and this is so important, you deploy it internally first. Let your own team use it, test it, work out the kinks before it ever talks to a real customer.
And for our last section, we're talking about the new strategic moat. Let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just about making things a little more efficient next quarter. This is about building a long-term defensible competitive advantage.
So, here's a crucial point. Anyone promising you a single silver bullet AI tool that's going to solve all your problems, well, they're selling you a fantasy. The reality is you need a whole portfolio of solutions, what the source calls lead bullets, and that has to include a core agentic platform to automate your truly unique workflows.
Okay, this next idea is absolutely critical for any business that's been around for a while. The argument is that AI is eventually going to make the back-end stuff, the language models themselves, and the front-end stuff, like user interfaces, super cheap and available to everyone. They'll become commodities.
So, if that's true, where's your real advantage? It's in the middle. It's your decades of expertise in your field, it's your private data, and it's those unique, specific ways you do things that make your business special. That is the ground you have to protect, and that's what you need to supercharge with AI.
And the pressure to do this now is real. The technology is finally good enough to use in the real world. At the same time, you've got these new AI-native startups popping up everywhere, built from scratch to come after your market. The window of opportunity is right now, where being one of the first to get this right can create a massive, lasting advantage.
And this leaves us with one final big question to think about. If the underlying AI models and the slick user interfaces are about to become available to literally everyone, you have to ask yourself, what is our most defensible asset? The answer, as we've seen, is almost certainly not the tech itself, but the unique knowledge and the processes that you build on top of it.